Well, hello there, and welcome back to the last match of the day. This break, so quick, I barely had any time to have a sip from my Onslaught mug here, which, by the way, should still be available in the World of Tanks merch store. Now, though, we are going to
three seasons, and he hasn't sent me a mug yet. Unbelievable. It's crazy.
We do have a matchup upcoming, though. It's going to be Hit, the team that claimed the last spot for WCI in the last spot match, basically, against the team of Yogurt. Here we can see the team under the captain, a Monster. But, Darky, there is a player addition, and that is someone I have not heard about in a long time. Decha is making his reappearance.
It's like, you know, they were looking on the retirement bench for players. They didn't find anybody, and they were like, oh, it's fine, let's look in the home instead. And then they found Decha. And apparently he's playing well, though, you know, so Grandpa still got it in him, Kian. There's still hope for you as well.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think all is lost with me joining an OLS team. But yeah, when I join an OLS team, you know it's Jover.
Yeah. No, but Decha, you know, an old player, very, very good at the game, hasn't played competitive for a while, but they said he's playing very well now. He might play. I talked to Ketsai yesterday. He said he might play during the season, but he'll probably end up playing in China for sure. So
that's going to be interesting. And then the other addition on the team of Hit is someone we alluded to earlier. It's someone that has left cash back. It is the Barbarian, absolute monster of the player himself, and also pretty good when it comes to calling.
Yeah, I think we all give them
like on the actual score as well.
Yeah, the intern says 3-0 though.
But yeah, let's see if Yogurt will be able to fend off against the onslaught of the Type 5s by hit and run. 3 of those in the lineup, together with a 140, a Fosh B, and double E4.
In return, triple Type 5 heavy for hit and run. A 140, a Fosh B, and double E4. So in terms of hit points, Kihan, we might see a slight deficit here for Yogurt. And with slight, I mean quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Yogurt without 430U, yes, it has a lot of DPM, but the Type 5s, they do have a lot of HP. And now with the buffed frontal armor, you cannot even be sure at range to really hit those weak spots anymore on the Type 5, so let's see how this one goes. The E4 is trying to aim down the rails, no connections as of yet. Ketsai there, taking one to the tracks, immediately burning through the rep kit, but of course with the onslaught modifiers, he's going to have that one back pretty quickly. So far, finally, some damage being done. 2 shots in towards the team of Hit. Meanwhile, Shelby taking one of his own as well. And Rachmedik in the IS-4 making his way towards the artillery strike. He's going to pick up that one very uncontested.
So, not bad from Yogurt starting-wise. You know, like, I mean, they might be down HP, but they're taking some objectives. As in the ID strike, which is always a useful thing to have. And yeah, that's the E4 power though. You know, Type 5 is a great tank now, to be honest. But 375 APCR does not care how great you are.
Exactly. Meanwhile, though, talking about objectives, both teams are now going to have an RD strike because both of them used the information tower as well. And this enables Franek and Barbarian to make a move here in the city. Barbarian getting spotted out for that one, though, as one of the E4s by Yogurt takes a bit of a beating. I think that was in Real. And LeVay also taking big hits in that 140 for the cross, minus 1.5 Ks. That was 2 750 Alpha guns connecting, though Yogurt looking to pounce here on towards the Type 5s. How quickly are they going to smash through those Japanese heavy tanks is the question.
YOLO, Ramadik and Aphrodite arriving. The second Monster are pulling back to pops the ability in the Fosh B. And that is kind of a wasted ability because no damage received, no damage dealt either. Hit and run, just pull back with the Type 5s just on time into a safe position. And now, bigger problem here for Yogurt is this Scab that's starting to spiral out of control with 15 seconds left and 3 tanks on it. They splitting up as well. Panther Fury, Franek and Barbarian making sure to cover their respective positions, but far away from one another. 4 seconds left. The strike comes in, resets one, which is Panzer Fury. He's going to peek out already to try and do some damage. Shelby coming in now as well. Panzer Fury does hit that shot. Franek taking one as well, but it's 6,000 HP difference at this point. And Yogurt being pushed back once more. Liquor there in the E4, getting some good cross shots though. So hit and run has to be careful not to overextend. T-Sec with not the greatest of peaks either in that Type 5 heavy. Ramadek not connecting either. Love now coming towards the south, and again now down to a 2,000 HP deficit only. Hit and run there, making a little bit of a mistake, giving Yogurt potentially a way back in.
Yeah, Love now trying to take the information tower. Does get spotted out for the play though, so opts out of it for now. Invo needs to be very careful with his E4 down towards the one shot, as Liquor potentially getting caught here by the Foch B. Opts not to use the ability because of course the track health would go down so far that Barbarian could double track him, and it seems like Barbarian might have overextended, as Aphrodite though in the Foch B completely gets blown up, doesn't even get to the healing part of his ability. Love literally on 1 HP now, and there are no strikes available for the team of Hit, but maybe that is not even going to be the issue, as Franek might have overextended too, getting pushed on by YOLO and Liquor, who take shots from the side. Monster falling as well in the Type 5. Yogurt are very far behind when it comes to the HP, but they're still able to convert and keep the guns even.
Yeah, the biggest issue there is that that Foch B swinging. Aphrodite, like coming in, swings wide to try and clip, it forgets that he needs to get to the healing part to survive, isn't able to do that whatsoever, and then ends up just exploding before the teammates survive. DJ and Ramadek in a 1v1. Love finds a kill though on 1 HP. Still, double HP for hit and run. It's 5k versus 1.7. All these players from Yogurt now on a slither of health altogether. Shelby now down towards a one shot as well. Barbarian coming in with the Foch B, and finally the guns start falling, and Yogurt will lose battle number 1, but it's down to the details here to why they actually ended up losing.
Yeah, indeed, one by one the dominoes start falling for the team of Yogurt here, as T-Sec is going to shut down Rahmedik and Love. He really did a great job trying to stay alive on 1 HP, but at the end of the day, I think the experience and the details make...
That could have gone different. That could have gone different. But then again, before that, hit and run, playing that cap, but making peaks, speaking out, pressuring forward, losing a lot of HP for that when the strike was already used to reset.
Yeah. Overall, I think Hit with the slight advantage when it comes to maturity of plays. Overall, I think, yeah, the Foch B with unfortunate timings when it came to activating the ability, but the thing as well as we saw, not the peak that you were talking about, but instead the peak on the other side of the rails where he was trying to engage the Type 5s, he preemptively activated the ability, and the Type 5s were like, all right, good luck penning us. We're just going to hold our shots for the other tanks to peak. So Hit there with very good reactions and keeping the shells, because sometimes with those healing abilities, it can actually be better to hold the shot and speculate for different damage onto other tanks.
But then again, it also depends on how close all the other teams are, though, to really confidently say this. Yogurt, that's an SRV on Ensk. Now, that's interesting.
They switched away.
I wish he would have stayed. There is some strats with SRVs. Hard to execute, though, but it does exist.
Let's see. I think Yogurt are finally starting to settle on their lineup here. One IS4, the Batchat, double Foch B, the 268B4, and the double E4.
In return, double type, CS63, Foch B, and triple E4. CS63, one of the less played mediums on Ensk, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's just too squishy.
It doesn't have anything like that makes it special, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's fast. All right, I'll give it that. But you could play Batchat as well as... Well, Monster and Love spot out each other, but Love gets a lot more information on towards the E4s as well. The fence did not get destroyed though, so no punishment, but a lot of information gained still on the Yogurt side here, whereas Hit and Run still playing a little bit blind. They saw the one Batchat and that was kind of it. I think they also saw the IS-4, but that doesn't reveal too much. And Invo in the Foch B is going to take the artillery strike immediately. They know they can do it just because they saw so much from the Hit lineup, where Franek is the first one to take a shot in his E4.
DJ now taking one as well though, and so far for Yogurt again, pretty decent start. Get the info, get the artillery strike, get some damage out as well across the board. I mean, Shelby taking some by the E4s, needs to be really careful because that's 3 of them looking and waiting. And he takes another one from DJ, so very good shooting from Hit and Run, finding a double connection against that IS4, putting him a bit lower. And now, how do either teams approach this? This Type 5 of Ketsai, you see where he is. Of course, there's a little window there, which is mainly blocked off by rubble. However, there is the potential to shoot above that rubble pile inside of the window.
Well, Monster, first of all, talking about squishy tanks, takes a big hit, I think, by one of the E4s in the city. Keep in mind, Ensk, not the largest map, as this is not the region. This is the old school Ensk from back in the day when it was still playable for tier 10s as well. So you can kind of hit across the map. You need to be aware of those angles. And so far, I mean, both teams kind of making the opponents bleed a little bit. Just as I say that though, Liquor taking a lot of damage in his E4, taking a little bit more even, needs to start being careful here as Invo and YOLO, both of them starting to open up in those Fosh Bs. Barbarian seems to be caught out.
I think a grand total of 1800 HP because he did get striked as well. So that's a crazy heal. Now these Type 5s marching down the rails, being annoying. Another strike being taken on the side of Yogurt and an information point as well, but neither team too far ahead. In T-Sec, that second rail, as we would call it, is one where you're not fully safe. He needs to be careful. There are angles that shoot below this, so he cannot confidently sit there for too long. But now Hit and Run is playing the cap game again, trying to force a reaction.
And indeed, it seems like Yogurt are happy to oblige. We see a little hit squad in the city, but how quickly can an E4, a V4, and a Batchat blow up a Type 5 heavy tank while the base capture is still ongoing? Invo, though, taking an E4 shot to the face. That's HP that he's not going to get back, as the ability wasn't active. Liquor now starting to peek in the E4. Does not see a whole lot here, though. Instead gets slapped into his face, down towards a one-shot himself.
Yeah, now Shelby being pushed forward in the IS4. He's bleeding down to 1,000, getting striked as well, down to 603 for that. And now what does Yogurt do? Hit and Run switched up in this battle from, you know, more aggressive to just the waiting game, the long con. And now Love wants to sneak across, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that in the Batcha. There's a Type 5 very close. You can see the great camo from the Batcha. They're working out immediately. Love getting tapped though. YOLO pops the ability. Peeking the rails. Minus 2.2, but that's a Fosh B. We've seen Barbarian heal a lot. Maybe something similar can happen here for YOLO, and that's a lot of HP ticking up. Invo with the heal as well, but not quickly enough as he falls to Barbarian, who's coming back on towards that side, and YOLO facing the music, but the only thing he's facing right now is Dead. And Dead says, thank you very much. I will take you to the underworld together with me. And Yogurt is minus 2 guns, but they did reset the cap.
They did reset the cap, but at what cost? Well, kind of everything, as Ketsai now gets pushed by Ramitik, but he even has the HP advantage, Ketsai that is, and the Type 5 is so tall that it doesn't care about the V4 armor. You can just overmatch from above. And now Franek here coming to help his buddy from his team. Rachmatik, one more shot, but that's probably going to be all she wrote for the Soviet tank destroyer. T-Sec falling now, the first tank finally for Hit and Run to go down, but probably not many more, as Hit and Run now on clean up duty, starting to swarm, starting to look for kill shots, and starting to look for the 2-0 on Himmelsdorf.
Ensk.
Yeah.
It's also a city map, but yeah, this game again very controlled from Hit and Run, patient, good. Barbarian there, that could have been a game-losing peak. I think surviving on 20 HP is luck, to be honest.
It is.
I mean,
if someone rolls differently, you're dead.
Yeah, so
what Barbarian was doing there, but that was an absolutely crazy heal coming in from him. So let's see, Monster not with the biggest impact, at least damage-wise, in that CS63. Then again, not sure how much information he was able to gather. But yeah, crazy heal coming in from Barbarian, who does 2,420 total. So Yeah, that is damage that, you know, Yogurt did, but it ended up not mattering. And I think overall what we saw here, once again, on Ensk round 2, was that both teams where it looked like they were evenly matched, but it felt like Hit just edging a little bit ahead every second that passes by, just looking for the better engagement, and when they see an opening, just striking.
I like the Type 5 position, though. It was very annoying for Yogurt to deal with that one. Cat's eye there, and so healthy, so annoying, and controlling a large part of the game.
Well, this means that now Ensk is over, and Yogurt probably want to mentally reset a little bit, because Hit now on match point find themselves on this match point on the new edition, Siegfried Line. We saw it twice already, although not sure how much to take away from that already, because, yeah, in the end, I mean, W just looked better on Siegfried Line in their respective match. So now it's up to Yogurt, who picked this maybe wanting to surprise Hit a little bit, and to be honest, that is exactly what they need to do. It's going to be sort of like a black box, what the other team is going to do. Especially now on the day one, right? You haven't really seen any team play public matches already. Let's see, Yogurt coming in, looking for their first point on the board here in Season 4. It's going to be an IS4, a MIVI, a Type 5, a 140, W4, and an RHM.
Hit and run and return, double Type 5, a 140, a 430U, and triple E4. So light tank advantage from Yogurt, they're going to have to exploit this.
Let's see.
We saw W do that very well, though, from the other side. But, you know, they use that light tank. It's a good plane there from YOLO as well, spotting out 5 players.
Yeah, so he's going to have a replane available. The thing, though, is that the field is not so big here on the Onslaught Siegfried Line, so it's not possible to completely roam there with a light tank, but seems like YOLO doesn't need to. Instead, he's going for the artillery strike immediately as Barbarian takes a shot to the face, has to use the medkit as well to revive the commander, but YOLO walks away from this with an artillery strike of his own as well, as Franik on the other side is going to take an artillery strike for himself, and that is going to make it roughly even in the game as well, as LaVey in the 140 has taken a shot of damage on the Yogurt side.
But so far, neither team in too much trouble. How do you utilize the light properly, though, at this point? Like, let's talk. In the slower game, which we didn't have, we did have it between W and Vortex, but it wasn't really slower. You know what I mean? It was like the light died at some point, and then the game was kind of frozen. But in a game where all 7 players are alive, how do you properly utilize that RHM?
That is a very good question, because especially when you don't really have access to the info towers, as it is right now for both teams, they can't properly be sure that they are not going to take a lot of damage for taking them. Punishment, damagement, yeah. Then the RHM needs to be extremely careful, especially in a game where a Type 5 now is a real possibility, and it only takes 1 to deal 1100 damage, as we saw earlier. So that's why I understand that currently YOLO in that RHM is holding on to his strike and not really wanting to make a play.
I mean, both teams, I think, are just going to accumulate strikes for a while, like, you know, not really utilizing them. Ooh, Pan's Fury there. Giving up a shot, but in return, the 140 hitting a shot against it, maybe as well. So A1, K1 contested. Yeah, that's sort of position that in random onslaught you really don't see that often, that A1, K1, but it is potent. I love the word potent, I don't know why. There's like a little bit of a dip there, you know, at A1, and it's just enough to play hold down from and be annoying.
Well, let's see. I mean, the game seems to be calming down a little bit, although Hit are kind of forcing the issue here with the Type 5 of, I think that's Monster in the cap. So, yeah, he's going to put a little bit of time pressure. Maybe he wants the amount of strikes on the Yogurt side to also not get out of control completely. Because I think Monster would be more than willing to take a strike here, as LaVey is now finally going to get the info tower for his team, uses it, full information available.
He can reset.
And yeah, Shelby resetting here, so the strike doesn't even need to be used. Good stuff coming in, and Monster thus forced off the angle here, and Rahmedek gets another shot for free. Not the best play by Monster.
Yeah, this cap, honestly, kind of garbage again. Like, what has it given them? It's given them minus 1,000 on Monster. And this is the downside of not having any lights, though. You can't contest that information tower at some point, right? And because of that, you know, I guess that's the advantage here Yogurt has. You know, they know there's no light tank, so they know that this radio tower is something that Hit and Run can't really deny. They can't really stop it. And because of the radio tower, Monster gets spotted out. They know where he's looking. Gets a shot from Shelby, goes forward, gets a shot from Rahmedek, and the cap ends up doing nothing.
Yeah, and this also means that Yogurt now find themselves in a 3,000 HP lead here against the, I would say, favored team of Hit and Run. But so far, so good, definitely, for the team in white. As, well, the RHM hasn't really done much, but to be honest, with a level 2 plane, he doesn't really need to do much. He just needs to, well, maybe he's already in plane mode, and he just has it aimed at the radio tower for whenever someone tries to make a move onto it. Looking at the abilities as well, there is a little bit of a discrepancy. 6 players from Yogurt have abilities with 2 or more charges on Hit and Run. We have 1 level 2 and 1 level 1. That's it.
Hit and Run is now trying this cap again, but this time they're doing it better, I guess. They're controlling the angles, like Barbarian's watching the Type 5, Pants Fury and T-Sec are watching the IS-4, trying the peak. So, why this wasn't possible the first time around, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, both teams are now sitting on 2 strikes as well, as Invo is going to capture 1. He resets Monster here with the Type, as YOLO gets a plane from this one, and now Rahmedek is going to peek. He took the shot from Barbarian and he took it willingly, but the second one, he probably didn't want to do that. He manages to get back a little bit as Katsai is starting to engage on towards LeVay, the 140, 1-on-1, but LeVay has a lot less HP. Even the strike starting to help Katsai here as well. The rubble hides what's happening, but Inbo with the first kill of the game as Monster falls to the Wolves, and Katsai actually bounces a shot. Good return by LeVay here, but he is probably going to be down and out rather soon. Another shot to help him, but LeVay bounces one as well, and it's going to be Katsai to equalize the scoreline, as the battle has not slowed down because Yogurt have pulled the lever. They started to aggress in the city.
And they're now trying to push forward. Rahmedek there looking to go forward, but immediately getting pushed back by that 140. Barbarian now pushing forward himself in that E4, wants to go for the killer against Rahmedek. Of course, needs a little bit of luck. It's not going to happen. The RHM of YOLO in the south side will get a side turret shot against that E4, pick him up. It's now 1 gun advantage for the side of Yogurt. HP is even. The cap is on. Invo needs to be very, very careful in that Mivi. It will struggle tremendously against that E4, but he has help though of his own E4 behind Bates. Panther Fury around the corner, and that is pretty good. But Hit and Run still up in HP, but down in guns. But the main important part here is that a lot of that HP currently located on that RHM of YOLO with 2,900. He needs to get involved. He needs to get into the thick of it and find some help towards his teammate. DJ wanted to peek that, doesn't end up going for it because he is a one-shot. And now that RHM finally getting some shot against Ketchai. If I was Shelby, I think you would have said that he needed to peek already at this point against the E4, because now he's just gonna die against DJ coming around, picks him up, another gun down, 3 left standing for Yogurt, and the HP all of a sudden completely in favor of Hit and Run. Guns as well, and it's just YOLO left in that RHM. That push play on towards that 140 swings this game around. Katsai supported by a double strike, find the isolated pick and find the 3-0 for Hit and Run.
Absolutely. Hit and Run once again in this Mexican standoff here on Secret Line managed to edge out ahead. They were just feeling out the positions, and honestly it felt like Yogurt were getting the better end of the trades until they didn't, that is.
No, it was a really nice play on through that 140. Double strike as well. Like, sure, they both bounced some shots, but at the same time though, it was a great opening. It was really good to see that. It was a good executed play. And an oversight from Yogurt not to be ready to cover the 140. They really didn't expect that.
Yeah, and so after 3 rounds, Hit also stands undefeated. That means 3 teams are 3-0 after today, and that also means that 3 teams are 0-3. But yeah, first of all, damage dealt here. Monster not having the best of games, but at the end of the day, when you have 6 other players that manage to carry a butt over the finish line, it doesn't really matter. And on the other end, we have Invo with a okay game in the MBY. I mean, he got to basically free farm on the side of Type 5 heavies, etc. But yeah, Yogurt, I think just tactically losing their nerve against Hit. Because in my opinion, they had the advantage at some point. They had HP advantage, light tank advantage, everything that you could want. And then I think they just got over-eager, namely, for example, on Rachmedik, who was peeking, taking too much damage, and then got re-engaged upon, which in turn opened up the push onto Lovey in the 140. So yeah, I think if there is one thing that Yogurt after this first day still needs to work a little bit upon, it is more mature decision making if the game takes longer. That leaves us with the standings of the day. Well, to be honest, a shared first place here for W Cashback and Hit and Run as well. All of them with the clean 3-0. Then a shared 4th place between Weekend and no shared 4th place. Actually, 4th place for Weekend, 5th place for Mafia, and Yogurt, Carillo, and Vortex down there at the bottom.
It's play day 1 though. I think the takeaways are, Mafia is definitely better than the bottom 3 teams that we saw play, but it's only play day number 1. It's when we still need to see where everybody's going to land, if there's going to be some upsets. That was today on the 30th of September. We are back on Thursday with more Onslaught Legend Series action. It's going to be, of course, the mid-season break is what we're going to have as well.